Well, the one thing I definitely enjoy every week on Sarah's Country is uncovering guests for you that are achieving some incredible outcomes. And this week we have a company based in Dannevirke that has sold over 200 jars of its honey for almost $5,000 New Zealand a jar. It has a unique Manuka factor of 33. And this New Zealand-made honey is from True Honey Company's range of high-quality Manuka honey that has been snapped up by Harrods. So why is it worth so much compared to other honey? We welcome our next guest, True Honey Chief Executive Jim McMillan. Hi, Jim. This is an incredible achievement.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, we're certainly pretty very proud of, I guess, what the team have been able to achieve. And I guess through some, very good branding with the marketing team, I guess just really, giving the high grade Manuka honey the respect it deserves. So I guess part of the reason why the price, $5,000 for a 230 gram jar is just really relative to the, the scarcity of the product. So there's only firstly, I guess I'd say it's the highest grade Manuka honey that's ever been made that we're aware of, that's been certified through the UMF Association. So there's only a very small amount of it ever been made, and I guess we were fortunate enough to produce it ourselves. So the team worked very hard to try to, I guess, brand it and in a way to really give it the respect it deserves, I guess. So.
For those who are listening or watching along, Jim, who are unfamiliar with the UMF numbering process, could you explain, what qualities the level of 33 is going to have for the human body?
I can explain a little bit around, I guess, the UMF 33 as far as, I guess, the medical benefits. We just need to remember that we are selling it as a food product, so sort of unable to make any direct claims around from a medical perspective. But I guess to put into context what 33 UMF means, or more specifically, I guess 1,900 MGO. So MGO is the compound that was found to be responsible for a lot of Manuka honey's unique beneficial properties, and they found that the MGO was responsible for that. So that's really an independent laboratory test that can determine the milligrams per kilogram of methyl-gloxyl present in that honey, where I guess UMF, on the other hand, is a trust mark, really, that really encompasses not only the MGO but a number of other parameters as well, to really give, I guess, customers the confidence and assurance that they're getting exactly what they're paying for, really. So
I find it really fascinating that you've been able to achieve, 2,500 pound jar, 230 gram jars of honey, and it's still deemed a food product. I thought for that sort of type of product, must have been in like a nutraceutical or medical type product. So that just explains the market awareness around UMF.
Yeah, yep, no, for sure. Like there's certainly been an increasing awareness and demand, I guess, for high-grade Manuka honey. So as much as we're selling it as a food product, very well aware that, commonly being used for numerous different, health issues. I guess it's viewed very strongly by a lot of cultures around the world. I guess just the value and the benefits of very high-grade honey, and I guess in more recent times and more specifically Manuka honey. So I think it's a great thing for New Zealand Manuka honey industry as that sort of awareness and demand continues to grow for the higher end NGO ratings, really. So.
Can you tell us a little bit about the hives and how you go about accessing them in remote locations around New Zealand?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. I guess True Honey Company, we work pretty well right throughout the North Island, right from the very top, pretty much North Cape, really. We place our first hives at the beginning of the season and right down to the top of the South Island. So I guess we've really tried to specialise and really focus on, I guess, the production of high to ultra high grade Manuka from remote locations. And I guess we've also, as part of that, we've developed a number of very strong partnerships with, I guess, landowners of some of the highest quality Manuka resource around the country. And those partnerships are obviously intricate or essential part of our operation. And then in addition to that, I guess the parts that are in our control as well is around, I guess, where we place the hives within each particular area. So we use helicopters to fly all of our hives in and all of them out, and that's primarily done to allow us to place them at precisely the right time, right stage of flowering. So when the bees are placed on the blocks, they're collecting nothing but, or virtually nothing but pure Manuka nectar, and it also allows us to place them right in the centre of the concentration of the Manuka resource, instead of maybe right on the edge of it, where the bees could have a large selection of other nectar sources they could be gathering as well. So yeah, our team have worked very hard over the last 6 or 7 years around really specialising in the production of that high to ultra high grade Manuka, and so that's what we're good at, and we continue to push the boundaries of what can be achieved, I guess, with some really smart thinking, planning, and use of innovation and science as well. So.
Yeah, and I mean, flying hives in by helicopter at the ultimate time, it certainly does stack up when you're achieving what you're achieving, but at the same time, you're showcasing to all of us in producing food and fibre the opportunities that are there. Jim, I'm really fascinated in value creation around products that can achieve different levels of price, but could have the same name. So, and you said at the start that you invest heavily with your brand team, your marketing team, but what is the fundamentals in achieving the highest premium perception around a product over something else with a similar name?
Yeah, well, I guess, firstly, probably note that from a personal perspective, I've come from a, I guess, agricultural background and always been very, very passionate about, I guess, New Zealand primary products, really. And when I first became involved in the Manuka honey industry, felt that Manuka honey wasn't really being given the respect it deserved, I guess, relative to other products and the price that was being charged for it. So certainly, really wanted to do everything we could to really showcase the product and obviously build a very strong brand story in behind that as well. So the first part, I guess, of achieving that is really we need to produce the product in the first instance. So we essentially produce every drop that we sell under our own brand, so we can provide the customer with absolute assurance around the authenticity of that product right to every step in the value or production chain. And then secondly, I guess, we took a very consumer-centric approach to our brand development. So, held a number of workshops around the globe, really, to get feedback from consumers around what they really wanted to see. And I guess some of the feedback that came through that was certainly the use of sustainable packaging materials. So I wanted to see the honey put into a glass jar relative to the use of PET jars. And then they wanted to be able to purchase direct from the producer, and also wanted to ensure that minimal use of any synthetic type materials in the packaging. So we've really focused very hard on ensuring that all materials wherever possible that we use, I guess, as sustainably produced as possible. And then that's really been the essence and the foundation of the development of the brand, really. So. And I guess resulting products that have come out of that. So.
Fantastic. And do you believe that in the age-old saying that, should the tide rise, it shall bring all boats, and this achievement that you've achieved here for True Honey Company, and the perception being at $5,000 a jar for such a small amount, will only help bring up the Manuka industry here in New Zealand across the board?
I certainly really hope so. And as a company, we're very committed to wanting to do our part, I guess, for the wider industry and I guess the good of New Zealand, and think that, hopefully, I guess, an example of the 1,900 NGO reharvest that you referred to earlier that we did, released into Harrods a month or so ago, is a good example, I guess, of what can be achieved. Some very significant value add or value creation through listening to our customers around the globe and developing products accordingly, really. I think it's a good example of what could be achieved in other primary products as well, Sarah.
Yeah, and that's what I really love, the inspiring nature of the story, Jim, is I think that this will resonate with a lot of listeners into so many other ways. Jim, it'd be fantastic if you could spend some time with our strong wool industry. I'm sure you can teach them a thing or two about value creation. That's Jim McMillan there from the True Honey Company. And thank you so much to Colin Willis-Croft from Farmers Weekly for uncovering that absolute gem.
Oh, nice boots.
Yeah, thanks. They're new.
Ben, you alright?
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. Just meerkatting pretty hard, eh? Yeah. I just said to myself, Ben, work hard. You deserve new boots.